Donald Trump and Benjamin Netanyahu revealed their batshit insane peace plan for Gaza, which essentially turns Gaza into a slave colony of Israel. Under this plan, Palestinians will lose all sovereignty and right to self-determination as they become a demilitarized state under the thumb of Israel. And Donald Trump announced that Tony Blair, one of the chief architects of the Iraq War that killed over 2 million people, will be the one running Gaza. This is exactly why the Palestinian people have a right to take up arms against these Zionist criminals. The future and the fate of the Palestinian people is up for them to decide. You have no right to implant Western leaders into Gaza. This is not a peace plan. This is the colonial expansion of the Zionist project and will be a death sentence to the Palestinian people. Under this plan, Palestinians wouldn't even be allowed to criticize the state of Israel or hold them accountable for their crimes. Benjamin Netanyahu, the convicted war criminal, said he wants to end Palestinian lawfare, so Palestinians wouldn't even be able to hold Israel accountable for their war crimes. Under this peace proposal, Israel would also take complete control of Gaza's education system so they can brainwash the next generation of Palestinians into believing Zionist propaganda. Can you imagine the Western reaction if Putin and Russia was demanding such things from Ukraine? This is not a peace proposal. This is a genocide finalization plan. There is only one solution to this conflict, and that is all settlers being expelled from Palestine and being held accountable for their war crimes. The New York Times writes another batshit insane pro-genocide article where they claim that the remaining Palestinians must go through Zionist brainwashing in order to continue to exist. One of the most unhinged aspects of the Donald Trump Benjamin Netanyahu Gaza peace plan that the New York Times endorses is the forced de-radicalization of the Palestinian people. Not wanting to live under Zionist occupation and seeking your own right to self-determination is not a radical position. The Palestinian right to armed resistance is enshrined in international law, where they have the right to shoot to kill their criminal occupiers. Colonizers always try to paint the people who want to free themselves from their chains as some sort of radical terrorists. Believing that you have the right to bomb hospitals, burn children alive, and rape Palestinians to death is truly the radical position. One of the most popular Israeli Telegram channels is where they simply post pictures of dead and mutilated Palestinian children while laughing at them. But tell me more about how Palestinians are the ones who have to be de-radicalized. Israelis literally held pro-rape rallies, demanding the government give the IDF the right to rape Palestinians to death. And their government listened to them, immediately releasing the soldiers who was convicted of rape. But tell me more about how the Palestinian people need to be de-radicalized.
What's poppin'? My friends, my family, I am back once again. What kind of? Welcome to RBN Live, YouTube, and this is, and a lot of you guys know I've been warning you guys on our channel that YouTube has been censoring my streams like crazy, pulling my streams like crazy. We are essentially, what's the word, like blacklisted, something like that. We're deranked because whenever your channel get hit with so many bullshit claims, like they constantly hit us with claims. So now they are watching our streams. They pull it for everything. So I was talking to Savvy, and Savvy was essentially telling me, because you guys know Savvy's like the queen of YouTube. So she was essentially explaining to me how our channel is dead because YouTube killed it. Shadow ban, I think that's the proper term. Thank you. So we are moving towards more of a decentralized model at RBN now. Where I have my channel, JB has his channel, Savvy has her channel that she's killing the damn game on. You guys know Rome work on the library. He doing amazing things. The RBN channel will mostly be for clips now. We're not going to ban it. It's still our representative work. So you will see clips on the RBN channel, but we're essentially moving on from that on the RBN YouTube channel. Now, honestly, I was about to quit YouTube as a whole. Bro, I was so heated because I had 2 streams that hit over 10,000 despite YouTube suppression. And despite that, 2 out of 3 of them got pulled. So it is insane targeting. And it's obvious what they were doing to our channel. So I was about to quit YouTube altogether. I was like, fuck YouTube. You guys know me, I was hot. Savvy and the team convinced me not to do that though, because I will be leaving. You don't want to leave audience away. So I will be streaming on my channel. I was so pissed at YouTube, I even started streaming on Kick. I didn't know what Kick was. So we on Kick. I'm back on Rumble, even though I'm not a big fan of Rumble, but I'm back on Rumble. And we on Twitch. We're on multiple platforms. Make sure you guys follow that. And I had to make this early announcement because all the live streams I'm doing now will be switching directly to my channel from RBN. The RBN live stream is going to end in the first 15 minutes, and then we're gonna end that stream so everyone go back to my personal YouTube channel, which will be my main channel now. But with that said, let's get our banger guest. I'm glad this is one of the best guests that I can ask for our relaunch of this show. Friend of RBN, amazing organizer who actually achieved tangible victories for people in Seattle, founder of Worker Strike Back, friend of RBN, running against genocidal Democrat Adam Smith. What's poppin', Kshama? I'm glad you're able to join us today.
Thanks so much for having me, Nick. Always happy to be here.
Yeah, and this is the event that I believe happened next weekend, next Sunday, I believe it is. Where
so it's just about 10 days from now.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I gave this a speech during our the last event that we had during the election as we was rallying to Joe Stein. So now I'm like super excited that we can have this independent anti-Zionist campaign against a guy who called people protesting against Israel fascists. So I'm super excited to be there on October 12th. Anything you want to add? Anything you want to let people know about this rally, Kshama, before I move on?
Yes, if you're watching this from anywhere at a driving distance from Seattle, then please come in person. It's going to be electric. And if you're not anywhere in the driving distance of Seattle, then you watch it live stream. Either way, you should RSVP. And in addition to live stream, we have a number of watch parties happening across the nation, all the way from Los Angeles to New York City. So once you RSVP, we can let you know if there is a watch party happening in your city. But regardless, we want you to join this rally because this is a national campaign. Defeating a genocidal, anti-worker, pro-war, pro-billionaire Democrat and electing a revolutionary socialist to the US Congress, that will be nothing less than a political earthquake. And this is something that working people nationally have a stake in, because if we can win this one position, we can do what we did in Seattle, which is completely turn business as usual upside down and use our office to build mass movements and to help rank and file union members launch mass strike action across the nation, and use our office in a way that has never been used and will never be used by any of these so-called progressive Democrats like Bernie Sanders or AOC. And just to give a taste of what we can win, just today, the news announced that the minimum wage in Seattle, which was already the highest in the nation, keep in mind, is going up again in January of 2026. It is going up to $21.30. It is unbelievable if you compare that to the fact that the national minimum wage, the federal minimum wage, is still $7.25. And how many times have we seen AOC and Bernie Sanders? How many times have we heard them promise that they were going to increase the minimum wage? And it is still stuck at $7.25, and it's $2.13 for tipped workers. So the way to actually make this kind of historic change is to have a disruptor in Washington, D.C., and that is what we are running for. I'm not running to be one of the administrators of the capitalist state in Washington, D.C. I'm running to be a disruptor of the capitalist state, and that is exactly what we need at this moment.
Yeah, that's why I'm all in. Can you guys imagine campaign rally? Can you imagine Kshama Sawant as a congressperson? You have yours truly doing political events with her. This like the sky is the limit, because we never seen a true socialist third party pushing hard really challenging the Democratic Party from outside of the duopoly with the kind of support and the name recognition that Kshama has. Because Kshama, unlike the bum-ass squad, unlike Bernie Sanders, AOC, who accomplished nothing for the working class. Name me one accomplishment. I get DSA nerds furious when I talk about this, Kshama. Name me one accomplishment that AOC and Bernie Sanders accomplished. The only thing they accomplished was shifting their party to the right. Their strategy was, if we run as a Democrat, we can help shift the Democratic Party to the left, and they will be accepting of Medicare for all and a increased minimum wage. That is not what happened. They rejected the entire domestic agenda while getting the progressive AOK on genocide. So it's a completely failed strategy. And the hot, and he's gonna win, by the way, so you guys don't have to worry. But Zoran Mamdani, you guys know he was elected, right? These are criticisms that me and Kshama brought up before. What did he accomplish as a state rep? How did he mobilize his base to accomplish victories for the working class? Spoiler alert, he did not. So no, I'm very excited about this. So go ahead, Kshama.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, in fact, I mean, obviously, as I've said many times, we strongly support the demands that Mamdani's campaign has brought forward. We want those demands to be won by the working class. But what we're saying is that the idea of cozying up to billionaires and to corporate Democrats is not the strategy, because we've seen that strategy, as you said, completely fail. And just to add that Zoran Mamdani was on the New York State Assembly. I believe he won 3 elections, and his last 2 elections were uncontested. The establishment did not run any candidate against him. Yeah, neither in the Democratic primary nor did the Republican Party run a candidate against him in the general election. Look, if you're fighting for the working class, such a thing would never happen. They will absolutely fight you tooth and nail to prevent your re-election. That's been my experience. And it's a rule of thumb. If your re-election is a cakewalk, then you're not actually a threat to the ruling class. And if you're not a threat to the ruling class, you're not in a position to actually deliver the kind of victories that working class people need.
I hope that Zoran Mamdani is successful. I'm not a fan. I've explained 1,000 times. I will never support someone who is willing to fund an agency like the NYPD and play footsie with them. Now, I am rooting for his success. And I'm not even mad at Mamdani supporters in New York. I speak harshly out against people who are voting for evil. A race for mayor is not my fucking issue at all. It doesn't concern me. I hope that he is successful. But I'm telling you guys, he will not be. And then when he's not successful at decreasing the price of goods, who are they going to blame? They're going to blame socialism, even though he's not a socialist. And that's going to overall hurt our movement. There are people who are so short-sighted, they don't think about these kind of things. But with that said, we can move on because I don't want to make this a Mamdani segment. I hope he decreases the cost of your goods in New York. I really fucking do. I really hope he's successful, but that is not what that is not a way to achieve victory for the working class. Let's move on. Let's get to our main stories today. And we also will begin our movement over to my main channel if you're watching on the RBN channel. Across all platforms, we already almost got 600 people. I see 575 across all the platforms. And that's our main focus. Let's get as many people watching across all our platforms, not just YouTube. So on this app, I can see who's watching on all the platforms. So we're doing really well because I've been hyping the fuck out of the Rumble, Twitch. So we're doing pretty well across all platforms, and that's the main thing that's important because, YouTube, it's whatever. So let's get started. I'm gonna see if I can end this RBN stream. Let's see. Yeah, I think there we go.